There's a couple of links I'll give you to. This is the fast intro for math students, and it has examples that show just simple calculations. It's going to go just like your calculator, add numbers, sine, cosine, graph things out. But it's a lot easier to turn in your homework, proofread, redo calculations. So this is what it's going to look like. It comes with an opening screen, file, new, notebook is what the file name is called. Try out a few of the exercises from the fast intro for math students. So it says, hey, type in 2 plus 2. So just start typing 2 plus 2 and hit shift enter, and you can see all it is just a calculator, right? Try out some of the basic calculations. If you hit enter, it'll open up a new block and you can kind of just scroll through. You don't have to go through everything in that fast intro to math students, but it gives you just a basic intro for it. You can do a whole bunch of lines if you just hit enter instead of shift enter, line after line after line. So one block of code can do a whole bunch of inputs all at once. If you use a semicolon, it will suppress output. If you want to see every last line that you put in there, just a couple of basic things, but it's just a calculator. Don't be intimidated by it at all. It's just a calculator. There are some examples here of how to use the input. So this, once you're getting used to capital letters, different types of brackets, if you want to just use plain old English and type it in how you would type it in English, this will teach you how to use the Wolfram language, and it's really not that difficult. You just have to remember to use capital letters, square brackets, but you can type it in plain old English and then click on it, and that'll be a quick way to get started and just kind of get used to brackets and a few different things. The little plus sign on here, so that is the freeform input. Just click anywhere between it. There's also a really good help. So if you go to the Wolfram Documentation Center, you can also see examples for how to graph things and solve, integrate something. If you use the regular input, that's once you get used to it, you can just do the regular input. Otherwise, use the freeform and again, just type it in like you would do a Google search and it will say, oh, this is how you would type this in. There's a palette up here that has templates for a lot of things. This palette is not available for the online version. You have to download the desktop version to get this nice little palette on here. But little templates that you just click on things and fill in what you want to do. It's very clear and straightforward. Yeah, the main thing, just capital, sign, square brackets for functions like sine 3x. 3x is in square brackets. If you hover over things in the palette, it gives you the shortcuts. And the shortcuts are pretty straightforward. That'll allow you to type equations in pretty quickly. It uses things like escape and control. So just hover over different objects and it'll tell you how to type it straight into the keyboard rather than using the palette for those things. There's also a text option. So you can type in notes to yourself or problem statements. You can copy pictures in here, which is really nice. So you end up with like a whole bunch of blocks and equations and calculations, and it can be pages before you know it. So I should show you how to organize this. It has a really nice thing. If you just click above or below and hit enter, it opens up a new block. And then if you right click on the edge, you can change the style of anything. Sections, chapters, subsections, make a whole outline out of it. And then if you double click on the outside bracket, that will kind of hide everything in each section. So you can have problem 1, problem 2, example 1, example 2, and you just double click, it opens the section up, or you can close the section up. So you have this like really nice and organized. This is easy for me to grade if you guys would use this for your homework. And then I can open it up and kind of change around what equations you have and say, oh, it was just one sign error. Oh, you just mistyped this one problem variable or something. It's a lot easier to find and fix mistakes and share information for this guy. So let me just show you an example problem here. If we go back over to the online book and just pick something easy, we'll grab one of the first chapters and grab a problem out of it. So yeah, here, go ahead and grab, as part of your work, I want you to draw pictures of things and show what version. Everybody's going to have a different version of problems with some different numbers from that D2L quiz. I'll let you share files if you also share a picture that you work together as a group, up to 4 people in a group. So using Mathematica will also let you work together, even though everybody's going to have different numbers on here. So yeah, you can use the snipping tool, Control-C, Control-V, copy paste it in there. Use PowerPoint to make free body diagrams, or just draw diagrams by hand, that's fine. So here's draw the forces, break forces into XY components, figure out the angles, do SOHCAHTOA, what's in the X direction, what's in the Y direction. Equations describe pictures. So part of the calculations, you have to show that you actually drew a picture with all of the details, labeled angles, labeled directions. That's really what mechanics comes down to, is vectors and drawing pictures of what's happening through each part of it. So you can copy and paste those pictures directly into Mathematica and have that in their own little block. I usually set those to a text block. And then once you have the pictures in, a new little spot, this is where you do all of your calculations. So you can break everything into X and Y components. And it's the same thing that you would do just typing it into your calculator, only instead of drawing by pencil and paper when you'd have to use an eraser if you made a mistake and plug it into your calculator over and over and over again until you get every little piece of it just right. Like, it's really easy to make direction errors or put in the wrong angle or mix up sine and cosine. There's so many little details in these problems that all have to be exactly right, that it's going to make solving it and fixing all of the little mistakes so much easier if you can just type it on a keyboard and have it in front of you where you can delete, fix, proofread it, fix that little piece. It goes much faster to be able to have your equations and everything organized in a computer program like this. And it's easier for me to grade too. I can open up your notebook file, so turn it in as a notebook file, not a PDF. And then I can go in and say, oh, if I just change this one direction, that fixes everything. So here's the solve command. It will crank through algebra for you. So you have everything in the X direction is going to be equal to 0. Comparison operator, 2 equal signs. Here's everything in the Y direction is equal to 0. I don't want to turn this into an algebra class. So 2 equations, 2 unknowns, shift enter. It's going to solve it for us much faster. Looks like we got the right answer. Okay, so download it, go through the fast intro, just a few things to get used to, and this will make everything in class go so much faster.